My name is Arin Lindauer, and you're listening to A Life Without Struggle. I'm a wife, a mother of 2 wonderful children, a 2-time best-selling author, and a highly driven and successful entrepreneur. In my 17-plus year career as a mindset and health expert, I know what holds women back from a life you only dream about. Whether you're a CEO, a businesswoman, or executive, I started this podcast because I have been where you are, and I know you want and deserve more out of your life. I believe women are limitless. We just get lost along the way. The process to get you there is the topic and purpose of this podcast. When you understand what you want, you can truly step into a life without struggle. Welcome, and I'm so thankful you're here. Welcome back to another episode of Life Without Struggle. My name is Arin Lindauer, and today is a good one. So today's one that most women aren't going to talk about. Most women wouldn't enjoy this conversation, but I've been put on this earth to share tough messages, to bring tough messages. And so the topic I wanted to speak on today is about living to a higher standard. And this is a bold and it's an important question that we talk about and we ask, and it deserves a compassionate answer. Okay. So when women don't live up to a higher standard, it's rarely because they can't. It's more often because of an internal and external force that condition them to aim lower, or that they're going to just do less than they're capable of. And so here's why. And I want to dig into this because there's so many times I see women just settling, just living a life they don't love. And why? Like, what's the purpose? And so we've got to dig into this. Again, we've got to be compassionate, but we've got to, work through the nuances on this topic. And here, these are from my perspective and why I've personally, not held a standard to myself. And so I figured, if I have felt these things and conquered them, surely other women can as well. So first and foremost, we've been taught to play small. And from an early age, women are socialized to be nice, to be agreeable, to be self-sacrificing, and to not be so assertive. Don't be so powerful, or don't so self-prioritize. And this is something that even myself, I have been told to back off. I have been called a bulldog before. Funny enough, that's the type of dogs we have, which is so funny. But society rewards women for being likable and not being bold. And so that's where I want to come here and talk about this, because instead of aiming so high, many aim to just don't rock the boat. I cannot tell you how many times I have actually been told those words, Arin, just stop rocking the boat so much. And I was just like, I don't like this. So anyways, where else can we go in this topic? Because another one that has really held me back in just living my standard, being who I want to be, is the fear of judgment. And even just like putting this message out there, I'm like, oh my God, what if this hurts somebody's feelings? Because again, we care, but women who step outside of the mold, we're often labeled, too much, or we're selfish, or we're intimidating. I know hands down that I have been intimidating on multiple levels. And I've also been told I'm too aggressive. Yeah, I know, right? And so there's this fear of backlash. I mean, I had to really, really work through this personally, because instead of us being bold and putting ourselves out there, we dim our own light to stay safe, to stay accepted, right? And so it's something that even myself, I've had to really, really work on, because if I don't put myself out there, I'm not going to help another woman say, hey, I can live to this higher standard. It's cool to take care of myself, even if nobody else in your sphere of influence. And so another thing that we and myself have struggled with tenfold is perfectionism. So I have been so crippled by perfectionism that I wouldn't even put out this video, or I wouldn't put out certain content because it wasn't perfect. Any other woman out there feeling this right now? Okay, cool, just me. But yeah, no, I'm not the only one that feels this. And again, this is why I can speak on this. But here's the deal. And here's what I've had to really lean into is we want to live to a high standard, but perfectionism tells us if we can't do it perfectly, then we shouldn't do it at all. And so here's the deal. I've told myself it is cool if there's a typo. So for all of you who are perfect and tell me when I have a typo, thank you. I know it's cool. I don't really care. Sometimes I'll go back and edit it. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes on a reel, you can't edit those damn things and you have to start over. And I'm just not doing that. So you're going to have to deal with my lack of perfectionism and the fact that I've gotten over that and allowed that piece of content to stay out there. So I hope you guys are all laughing. But we just have this exhaustion from juggling our careers, kids, aging parents, just the societal expectations, and our ambition gets buried. And we get buried under what I think a lot of us call survival mode. We're just trying to make it. I can't tell you how many women I talk to that just tell me, Arin, I'm just surviving. And we have to flip this script into the thriving piece, but it takes a second. It takes a second for us to get there. Another one that shows up, and this shows up more from when I'm coaching women, I've seen a low self-worth, or it's not even a low self-worth. It's more of an internalized limiting belief. It's a belief that we have put on ourselves. No one else has even put this on us, but we can't live to this higher standard if we don't believe that we're worth it, or that we're capable, or that we deserve it. And these are some really, really deep-seated programs that need attention. They need address. They need help from a competent individual who has been there, done that, worked through these things. And so listen, decades are going to go by and of being told that you're not enough, whether it's subtle, whether it's someone else, but 9 times out of 10, it's literally you. It's you telling yourself that you're not enough. And so we wear this like a badge of honor and we don't even realize it. And so we have to really dig deeper into this identity piece. When I'm helping women lose weight, this is the crux. This is the difference between a woman seeing results and seeing results for life and not. Everybody can restrict calories, everybody can work out and reasonably see results, but it's the women who truly, truly change from an identity that truly change. Okay. So there's an internal limiting belief. And the thing is like no woman is just lazy. Like I have rarely met a woman that just is truly, truly lazy or unmotivated. It's more that you're disconnected. You're disconnected from what you actually want, what your power is, what your source is. And so another one, and this is one that I look in the marketplace and there are very, very few of these, and maybe I'm not looking good enough, but this is again why I choose to put myself out here in this capacity, because there's not enough role models for women. And we don't see other successful women in the light that we should see them. We see them filtered. We see them perfectionized. We see this unrealistic expectation. And it's hard to imagine yourself. Even myself, when I scroll social media, I was just like, how does she do that? How does she make that look like that? What does she do? And I mean, we're constantly looking at things. And so again, my hope is to come out here and be as real as possible with you, because the real deal is we're all messy. We all are authentically ourselves, right? And we've got to step into who are you? Who do you want to be without just losing your soul to the internet and comparison and just stealing your joy? Because the more real and raw we can be, and listen, as much as I'm saying it to you, I'm saying it to myself, is we need to be real. We need to be messy. We need to be authentic when it comes to who we want to be, how we want to show up, and how we want to set that standard for our life. Here's another one that I think hits so many women is guilt. Even for myself, like there is so many times that I would be challenged to leave the house, go get my workout in. I mean, I can't even tell you, I've missed firsts, I've missed lasts of our kids. And I mean, it used to really, really eat at me. And it was so funny because I would be like, Tony, make sure you get that picture. Or like, just, there was different things because I chose to take care of myself in that moment versus being there for the last day of school picture for the kids. I mean, why would that torment a woman? Well, because we need to get that perfect picture, damn it. And I was like, Tony, don't you forget. I'm pretty sure I just put the fear of death in him, but I was like, I need to be where I need to be in this moment, and the guilt, right? And of course I felt it. And so many times we ask ourselves, am I neglecting the kids? Is this being selfish? Do I even deserve this time for myself? And it literally kills our momentum. And so here's the thing that I want to normalize is women, we all feel this guilt. But it is okay for us to empower our husbands to take the last picture of school that day. It's okay for us to not be there and drop them off, right? Or to ask for help. And so this is a big one because I've personally felt it so many different times in my life to the point where I wouldn't do things for myself. And now I've gotten much, much better. I can't say it's perfect by any means, but this is one that I know so many women, we put so much guilt on ourselves. This last one that I want to dig into is going to really hit home. And again, we're creating standards for ourselves, but why? Why don't we live up to standards? And this is one that I challenge women on all day, every day, is you've never been asked to dream bigger. There's this whole idea that we should always be serving others, but have you ever asked the question, what do I want? What's possible for me? Who do I want to become? See, I know you haven't asked these questions of yourself unless you've been following me for a hot minute. You probably have, but I have done countless workshops with women. I've done countless speaking engagements with men and women. And so many times when I ask women, what do you want? They can't tell me. I even to the point will ask a woman, what number do you want to see on the scale, which makes everybody uncomfortable but myself, because this is what I do for a living and it's an important number for me to understand. But then so many women will give me that safe number that right now they can't even fathom getting themselves at, and it would be fine. Arin, it would be so fine. I would just love to get there, but they give me a safe number when in reality, there's so much more in the bag, but they don't believe it's possible. So I'm going to share with you, you've got to dream bigger. You've got to ask yourself, what do I actually want? Do I love the marriage that I'm in? Do I love the body that I have right now? Do I enjoy the career that I'm currently in? Do I love where I live? These are all things that we feel like once it's done, and you can never change it. And that is not true. Again, this is where we settle for a lower standard. And so when women are over 40, we are in a perfect season to just stop settling. For most of us, our kids are getting a little bit older, and so they don't need us like they used to. You've seen enough of what you don't want. That is what women tell me all the time. They will tell me exactly what they don't want, but very, very few can tell me what they actually want. And hell, if I was being completely honest with you, I didn't know what I wanted for a very, very, very long time. I kept showing up, doing the things, thinking this is it. This is where we're going to go. This is what was in the playbook for you, Arin. But I wasn't even worried about who was writing the playbook. Now, as we've wisened up, we're, into our 40s, and, we start to look around and we start to say, gosh, is this it? Is this everything? And so this is a perfect time for all the women who are listening to this going, oh my God, have I been settling? And it's okay for you to ask yourself, what do I want now? I've done all these things to get myself here, but hey, what else? Do you want that house in Hawaii? Do you want, the beach home in Florida? Do you want, rental properties? Do you want to live in a totally different area? Are you sick of this marriage that isn't going anywhere? Are you in love with the person that you married and you cannot wait to do the next business deal? Like, there's so many different things that we can look at. And the most important thing that we do is we create a standard for ourselves. We create a standard of, this is how I show up. This is how I present myself. These are the things that are non-negotiable for me. And then we get after the things that we actually desire. But that, again, is going to take you leaning into that. So I want you to ask yourself, what are your standards for your life? Are you showing up like a hot mess? Are you rolling out of bed, barely getting yourself together? If you are, take note of that and ask yourself, do I really want this? Is this cool for me? Ask yourself who you're being a role model for. Who are you showing up just tenfold for? Are you showing up for yourself? You should be on that list. And so what we need to do is we need to dig deeper into your power. What is it that you actually want? Where are you needed? What is your identity? And sometimes we have to rewrite this. Sometimes we've been going along doing everything because everybody told you to do it this one way, and you're not using this beautiful noggin upstairs. So I want to challenge you to desire more, be more, show up more. Maybe there's a non-for-profit that you have always wanted. Maybe there's volunteering that you've always wanted to do. Maybe there's an organization that you're like, man, I need to learn more about this. Maybe there's something that's just been itching and you want to learn it. It's a new trade, a new skill, right? It's okay for you to branch out even after 40, 50, 60 years old and reinvent yourself or enhance yourself. For myself, it was just very much taking the bar and raising it, because every decade of my life, I can look back and I'm like, whoa, we did some things. But then it's like, okay, well, what else? What else? What else? And it isn't that you're never satisfied. I never want that to come out, but it's a disservice to not put yourself out there boldly and do the things that you are called to do. But see, a lot of us will just play small because that's what we're taught. So I want to know what you're desiring. What's kind of itching under your skin? What have you not considered? That could be a part of your journey, your story, and not for others, right? This is for you. So I want to ask you to dig a little bit deeper, take some time, maybe this weekend, maybe next week sometime. And I want you to ask yourself, what are your standards in your life? What are your standards for your health? What are your standards for your relationships? What's your standards on your finances? What's your standard on your environment? And check yourself. Ask yourself, is this enough? Is it enough? And it's okay for it not to be enough. We kind of look at that like, oh, well, I'm unhappy. It's not that you're unhappy. You're trying to figure it out. You're trying to challenge yourself and ask yourself, what else is possible? So I'm curious how this one lands. This one's just a little bit ruffling of feathers, I'm sure. But here's the thing. I know that if I don't put these bold conversations out there, you're never going to think bigger. And when it comes to your health, if you have not created the standard that is top-notch, high priority, operating on all cylinders, like if you don't feel good inside of your skin, that is the first standard to start with. And if you need help, you can hit me up on any socials, just Arin, spelled A-R-I-N. Last name is Lindauer, L-I-N-D-A-U-E-R. And shoot me a message. Shoot me a message so we can talk a little bit deeper, because the standard for your health is going to trickle into everything else. How you put yourself out there is going to impact everything else. Think you got passed up for that last promotion? Take a look at your health. This isn't about vanity. This is about the person you're showing up as, the person you're presenting. Are you putting yourself out there in a way that you're confident and strong? Yeah, okay, I could be talking about in the gym too, but it's going to translate when you walk into that boardroom. All right, ladies, I hope this one's been a good one. Share with me your questions, share with me your thoughts, and if you need some help raising that standard with your health, hit me up. Take care.